The most common question I get is, where do I meet women? And how do I meet women? Now, a lot of guys are now getting away from the dating apps. They're finding it useless. They're finding it that it's rigged and it's not helping them meet women. Now, I want to share some places that you can meet some high value, attractive women without having to resorting to dating apps. My name is Faisal. I'm your host for the Nice Guy Show. I'm joined with Ari and Chuck, and we are three certified No More Mr. Nice Guy coaches helping men evolve. So, guys, Chuck, I know you've been married for some time now, and I know Ari, you're still in the dating game, but guys are finding it really difficult to meet women. Now, before I reveal the places where they can meet women, there's a bigger problem that's really happening underneath. That is, most nice guys don't want to leave the house. They want to be indoors. Why is that, Chuck?
Well, I think indoors is safe. It's a biological need to feel safety. And when you step outside, I think that we're all still kind of recovering from lockdown with COVID, that there was that period of time, especially early on, where it was really traumatic. We were in our houses. I remember walking down the street and you would see other people as like potential death, like they were going to breathe on you and you were going to die from it, and I think that there's still a bit of that kind of leftover lingering scar tissue from that, because when you were outside, you were in danger. Inside, nothing's gonna happen, and I think for a lot of guys, their experiences when I step outside the house, whether it's to, go on a date or try to talk to women or something along those lines, that they're going to get shot down or they're going to get rejected. So why would I go out into the world and talk to women who are, excuse me, just going to reject me? It's much easier to stay inside and just fantasize and wish that, a beautiful woman's going to show up on your doorstep and you're going to be happily ever after. If you could only
Ari,
order that from Amazon Prime,
I know, right? Well, you can. There are some
Yeah.
dating websites.
Pretty
You can
realistic ones.
mail order brides. You can have that as well.
Yeah.
Ari, so after
Yes.
COVID, have you become more of a recluse? Have you become more shy, not getting out of the house and meeting women?
No, I mean, COVID, it was killing me that I couldn't get out. I really wanted to be out. And I had a girlfriend during COVID, which felt like such an illicit thing. I mean, we met on a dating app, but just meeting in person in like the May of 2020 just felt like we were doing something like forbidden. So no, I was dying to get out of the house, and to do the whole dating essentials, like expand your range. And COVID really got in the way of that. So no, I love to get out. I mean, for me, the issue with getting out, I don't know if I'm answering your question, is just, I've got a busy work life and I'm parenting half time. So I just I have limited time to get out. So I have to be really intentional about it. I think for a lot of the nice guys that I work with, yeah, it's wanting to be safe. It's the addiction to comfort. It's the porn, it's the video games, it's the Netflix, it's the
So do you think that's taken? Do you think that's taken away all their ability to leave the cave? Because I see
It
that
makes it harder. They have
it
bad
does, doesn't
habits.
it?
Bad habits.
Right.
And you have to be intentional, I think, to get out of the house and do some of the things that you suggest. You have to be thoughtful, and you've got a plan. So those aren't things that nice guys are necessarily used to doing with their time.
Right.
Another thing I think that's happened, especially for me at least, is like working from home now. And I know a lot of people are working from home, And I think Ari mentioned habits. It's like I get up, I walk down the stairs, I come into my office. I'm in my office all day long. I'll walk out to the kitchen, get lunch, come back to my office, walk out, have dinner. And I'm just in the house all day, just simply because there's no reason to go outside. And I think that then that habit starts to establish itself, and it's like then the opportunity of going out, and it's like, I don't want to go out. Like, I'm perfectly fine here. I have everything I need. Why would I want to go out? So I would also
Exactly.
imagine that happens to a lot of single guys who are working from home, that or working remotely, that going out is just something that they get out of the habit of.
Yeah, it's so true because a lot of guys, they are finding themselves at home, you know, um, and the bad habits. This is something I think that's really important, and it's not talked about much. Is like, go and go here, you go here, and you meet all these great women, but the guys are not actually stepping outside the house. It's like the caveman is refusing to leave the cave. And one of the most, unattractive thing is when guys are not socially, clued up. And what they're doing, what's happening now is I'm seeing that guys are losing their social skills because they're so insular and they want to, protect themselves. And as one of the challenges with the nice guy syndrome is anxiety. The causes of the nice guy syndrome is anxiety. So leaving the house is very anxious based because it creates a lot of anxiety. I remember even after COVID, I mean, I had a really vibrant social life, and COVID killed a lot of the social activity. And now I catch myself not being as socially active. I'm like, okay, it's easier, it's more comfortable. I get all my needs. And I've created an environment around me, like my own ecosystem where everything is met. I get anything I need without having to leave the house. And a lot of guys have become accustomed to that as well. They've like, okay, I'm in this environment. If I need to speak to someone, I'll just jump on, send them a message or something like that.
Mhm.
And because they're not having a lot of success on the dating apps, they're just finding themselves really frustrated. So, what can nice guys do to get out of the house? What's the one thing you will say? Look, listen, get out of the house, and you can, what's the one thing they can do?
I think part of it is just like purposefully, like, get out of the house, like make a conscious decision. Like, I've got to get out of the house. You know, um, if you have a bad habit, you can't tell yourself to break the habit. You have to change the habit to something else. So if you're, for example, um, if the habit is staying in all of the time, then to maybe sign up for a class or go to a gym or yoga studio or something along those lines, where you're sort of forced to get out. I think those can be real ways to start to break the cycle and the habit. So having something that's established, a weekly time where you're out of the house and doing something that can be really beneficial.
Yeah. Ari, what about you? What kind of like habits do you have that helps you to get out of the house?
I mean, I work from home, so and yes, it's comfortable and there's convenient things about it. I'm saving time, but like I'm dying to get out of the house. Like and even I have some social anxiety even, but I'm dying to get out and just kind of stimulate myself in that way. Um I think the guys need to tune into what interests them. You know, does going to a yoga class or a martial arts class interest you? You know, what would your goals be? So start really looking at yourself like, what kind of person do I want to be? Do I want to be a gym
Mm,
goer? Do I want to be a martial arts person? Do I want to expand my business life? Do I want to network? Um, so I think that's one of the things you can do. Don't just go out and be social, doing just anything. Do it in a way that's consistent with your values and the lifestyle that you want to have.
yeah. I really like that because, a lot of times, dating coaches and dating programs will say, hey, these are the great places to go and meet them. But the real challenge is not the places that we lack. It's the fact that we have a lot of obstacles in the way, like social anxiety. You could be really social awkward. You don't have enough practice. You might think I'm not good at conversation. These are kind of challenges I had. I thought, I'm way too shy. I don't like going to groups or new people and starting a conversation. And when I do start a conversation, I don't always know what to say. Now, some of the remedies that I would suggest to you guys is start small steps, like building, like you guys were saying, it's a habit. Every day leave the house, go in a coffee shop. If you work from home, see if you can work in a coffee shop. Get used to the environment. Say hello to strangers. You don't have to say and go and chat up women. Just say, learn the building, becoming social at first. These are great places to begin with. How I came over my social awkwardness and shyness was I just started to find events, be very mindful, like you were saying, Chuck, being very intentful, and I just wanted to get curious about people. I would go on meetup.com, Eventbrite. There's so many places. There's a really good quote by Tony Robbins. He said, it's not the lack of resources, it's the lack of resourcefulness. So it's not the lack of resources. There's plenty of things to do, but it's just the fact that we don't spend time in Google. We're not intentional. We don't book things in, plan things in. So I want to just share a couple of things that guys can do. So go on Google, find a social event near you. There could be dating events near you, speed events. Find seminars, talks, workshops. They're all great places to hang out. Fitness events. There could be business work events, cooking classes. There's so many events that you can do. Gala, charity dinners, boat parties. If you want to go more high end and you want to meet more like high end kind of women, there are always options. Yes, sometimes you might need to travel 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, right? Don't let these be obstacles in your way. And one of the biggest things I see is excuses. That's what's in the way. It's nothing else other than that fear, that anxiety, just moving yourself forward from that. Guys, what's on the other side? So when they become more, say, they get out, what kind of like social life, what kind of opportunities will they get from this? Chuck.
So, kind of what comes off the top of my mind or the top of my head is that, we are social creatures. I mean, we actually need to be in relationship with other people that fulfills the need. And I think what happens when we're not is we start to atrophy. We start to, just get more lonely and get more depressed. And I think that's a real problem, even in today's culture. The suicide rates are way up. The people's depressions are way up. So on the other side of this is good mental health, that you're actually doing something for yourself by creating social contacts with people, that your mind, your body, your soul needs to have that interaction with other people. And you can have it, on Zoom and to a certain extent, but there's really like the whole thing about getting together in person just is such a huge energy shift that happens there. And I know when I get together with somebody in person, for example, Saturday mornings, my friend Michael and I, every Saturday we get together for coffee, and it's just our weekly check-in with each other. It's our weekly get together. And we do it in person at a coffee shop. And it's just like, my soul needs that. So, which leads me to another thing that I think that you can do, which is get a wingman, get a partner, somebody who you're also doing. It's like, if you're going to work out and you work out by yourself, you're not going to work out as hard as if you have somebody with you, right? So if you want to create more social in your life, make sure you got a buddy, make sure you got a friend, that's in a similar place as you, that maybe is also single, and you can encourage each other to go out and sort of be wingmen for each other. So I think that's another good thing to do, is find a friend who you can invest in and help each other out.
Yeah, I love that. That's such a great advice as well. Get out there, get a wingman. And, we need that social connection and interactions as well. It helps us feel more connected. Ari, what else is on the other side of becoming more social, becoming more active in this?
Well, I think just high quality relationships. The relationships that we often make online tend to be more superficial or more around a specific interest, um, or just related to work. So people that you meet in person, there's going to be more of a depth of intimacy. Um, there's just a greater happiness. I have a hunger for seeing people in person. So, like I said, I have kind of a limited amount of time given like parenting and work. Um, so I try to be really intentional about my social time. And I don't spend much time watching TV at all. I don't play video games. I got rid of porn, because I realize like those things, those are taking precious time away from social time.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, the good stuff is on the other side when you get out of the house and you're social.
yeah, I love
I
that.
really believe that.
Yeah, it's so true. You're gonna be less lonely. You can have better friends, and get a wingman or get a wingwoman. One of the things always tell the guys is, you know, intentionally put great women in the friend zone, because one is that they're great at socializing and connecting, and they also have a social circle, and then become part of that. You don't need to go out and hit on every single girl. Build friendships, because that can help you and invite you to more social events as well. And it's all like you guys said, it's about building the habit. Going out is not about having a checklist of places to go. It's about the habit, building the habit of going out. Guys, this has been the Nice Guy Show. Thanks for being part of it. And please, if you're watching on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe. That really helps us to reach out to more guys as well. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast, make sure you subscribe there as well. Go to niceguyshow.com and you can join our mailing list. Also, check out another great episode number 44, 3 things men get horribly wrong about when seducing women. Take care and see you on the next one.
You've been listening to The Nice Guy Show with certified Nice Guy recovery coaches Ari Graff, Chuck Chapman, and Faisal Kokar. Be sure to subscribe to this channel so you can listen to our latest episodes and visit us on www.theniceguyShow.com. If you have any topics you'd like to hear us discuss, send us an email at support@theniceguyShow.com. Thanks for listening.